that gets in there, anybody that get in there, they understand that that's a important position on our defense.
I know you had talked about in the summer and fall you've seen him start to take those advances to be at this level. Is this what you thought it was going to be with him when you kind of projected mentally forward what he could do?
Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, what I talked about in terms of his talent and when he has those flashes, we try to capitalize on those flashes in the film room and show him who he is. Now the challenge is to be consistent, and to stay focused. And we still got work to do. He knows he has work to do. Hasn't arrived. Proud of how he's playing and what he's doing, but there's things we can continue to clean up, and be more consistent, so.
I guess when you have someone at that size who can play that many snaps, how much does that kind of maybe help Keith or Johnny or the other guys kind of getting the rush or getting inside in the run?
Yeah, we try to keep those guys fresh, especially inside. They take a lot of pounding up front, especially inside at the nose position. But that's why it's good to have guys that can complement in that position. You got guys like T-Raw, you got guys like RJ, Rasan Wilkins. It's good to have those guys be able to come in and rotate in during the game.
When you're getting as many 3 and outs as you are, does that do a lot for your rotation to say we can keep rolling the same guys right now because they're going to be fresh because they've been sitting? You know what I mean? Like if you're not on the field as much continuously.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely the goal, to get off the field. Just get off the field and a lot of times on third down, some of those guys are off the field, so we can capitalize on that opportunity. That'll save some snaps on those guys. But whenever we hit the field, whenever those guys are on the field, the expectation is for them to do their job and do it well and execute. And it definitely helps us keep guys fresh and become more durable for the entire season.
I think Ryan had talked about, like, it's just kind of I don't even know if it's a mental thing, but when you have, because Calvin's always over the center, when you have that, what kind of imposement, I guess, does that look like if you're a center and someone Calvin's size and his power and his speed? What does that do over the course of the game when he's just consistent in that way?
That's a great question. Because again, with Calvin being a big guy, being athletic, being explosive, it really doesn't matter if you're not using the proper technique. And again, that's where Calvin, he's embraced the importance of playing with good technique, good fundamentals, because he's always been big, he's always been talented and explosive and athletic, but he understands now the importance of playing this game the right way, playing with bent knees, playing with independent footwork, and playing with extension. And the good thing is in this league, especially in the Big Ten West, you're going to get challenged that way each and every week with the offensive line that we're going up against. It's a good core group of opposing offensive lines that we're gonna face. But more importantly, we face that in practice. We've been facing that in practice with Coach Miller and his group. So it's been great for his development.
Coach, the defensive front's starting to gain a reputation, and the way you've been playing. Can you tell, how's that carry over into recruiting? When you have kids on campus and you can show them that film, or when you go out on the trail, how does that kind of aid you in selling the program?
That's a great question, but the reality of it is when you look at Coach Bielema and his track record and the defensive lines that he's had over his years as a head football coach, they've been pretty good, and I think it comes from the top down. I think, I'm glad and I'm proud of our guys in the way that they're playing now, and we're able to put that out there for everyone to see. But hopefully when we make the effort and build the relationship to recruit young men, they understand that it starts from the top down. Our head coach, having played defensive line in this conference, it's going to be an emphasis on that and developing at that position. And so that's what I'll say about that.
Is it hard in the Midwest to recruit NFL type defensive linemen? Is the recruiting pool big enough where you got to go outside the state or go to the South?
That's a great question. There's big people in the Midwest. There's big people and they're athletic. The good thing about the Midwest, they're big and they play multiple sports. So you're going to have some skilled athletes. Now, of course, you could find a great athletic, big, physical, defensive linemen across the country at any state. It depends on how you're looking, but in terms of your question about the Midwest, there's big people. They're athletic because they play multiple sports, and that helps their skill set, different movement capabilities. So,
But we knew that Johnny and Keith Randolph were talented. Did you see this leap coming from them, and what do you think the key is to them making the jump that they've made this year?
the key is and will always be in our program is development. And it starts in the weight room, starts in the off season, starts in terms of football 101, the teaching that Coach B brings to our team to help those guys understand the game and play fast, and the repetition that we do in practice, seeing it in film. It's the development piece, and ultimately we want to continue to stack days, and ultimately that produces a product that you like to see on game day.
Thanks, Coach.